Consider the human frame. 206 bones. A masterpiece of biological engineering, designed to carry us from the cradle to the grave. But in a nondescript warehouse, in the heart of Ohio, the art of anatomy has taken a turn for the impossible. 62 skeletons, identical in every curve and fissure, yet forged from the very elements of nightmare. One is carved from non-melting ice, another, a lethal coil of plutonium, a third, the impossible density of antimatter. They are the curated works of an artist whose studio exists just outside the borders of reality. You aren't just entering a museum, you're stepping into a collection where the price of admission is your understanding of physics. Secure the perimeter, and prepare for a private viewing of SCP-2263. Item Number: SCP-2263. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2263 is to be kept in standard safe object storage at Site-63, with the exception of SCP-2263-34, which is to be kept in highly explosive material storage, and SCP-2263-62, which is to be kept in radioactive material storage. Due to potential, as of yet undiscovered dangers, no experimentation is to be done on any instance of SCP-2263 without express permission from Site-63 administration. Description: SCP-2263 is comprised of 62 anatomically accurate, identical sculptures of a human skeleton, all of which are made out of anomalous materials. Each skeleton measures 190 cm tall and has a mass of 11 kg, regardless of composition. Each skeleton is held together with silver wire and mounted on a 5 cm thick lithium carbide disc, with a radius of 0.3 meters. Every instance of SCP-2263 has a descriptive tag affixed to its third left rib. Each tag is written in Dutch, with the same handwriting. Below are a selection of individual instances of SCP-2263, with a translation of their respective tags. Item Number: Composition. Text on tag. Notes: SCP-2263-1. Non-melting ice. Managed to keep it chilled. Sculpture retains average temperature of -33.4 degrees Celsius, and should only be handled when wearing thermically insulated clothing. SCP-2263-2. Brass. 37% zinc, 61% copper, 2% other contaminants. Delay is a bit off. Do not touch. Temperature of object fluctuates rapidly between -270 and 60,000 degrees Celsius, but temperature only extends to a range of 5 cm. SCP-2263-3. Purple polypropylene. Keep out of the way. Object blinks in and out of existence at an interval of approximately 57 seconds. SCP-2263-7. Unknown. Believed to be dark matter. Very easy to lose. Object appears black, and does not emit or reflect any variety of electromagnetic radiation. Item determined to have a temperature of 0 degrees Kelvin, but does not feel cold to the touch. SCP-2263-18. Unknown. Best described as the color blue. Not quite sure how I got this one to work, but glad it came out well. Object appears as a blue, two-dimensional image of a skeleton, matching the dimensions of other sculptures, which appears as the same image regardless of angle it is viewed at. SCP-2263-18 itself is intangible, but it is constructed on a stone platform, which exhibits no anomalous properties. SCP-2263-20. Technetium. Keep bolted down. Object does not emit radiation, as would be expected of technetium, and shows no signs of atomic decay. Object is continuously pulled westward via unknown force at exactly 2.23 km per hour. Can be easily stopped by any solid barrier. SCP-2263-22 SCP-148. This one is giving me headaches. Aside from the usual effects of telekill alloy, object hovers between 0.3 and 0.8 meters off the ground. SCP-2263-25 Redacted. Honestly, I am not sure how I did this one. Keep a mule in the vicinity. Redacted. SCP-2263-27 Graphene Aerogel. My personal favorite. Anomalously emits odors at an intensity most commonly described as pleasant. Notable odors include jasmine, agarwood, amber, fresh apples, and cooking meat. SCP-2263-30 An organic chitinous material that most closely resembles ant exoskeleton. Keep away from open flame. Converts carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen gas, argon gas, methane, and water vapor into breathable oxygen without producing any excess waste matter, or consuming or emitting any energy. Note: SCP-2263-30 has been approved for testing by the Materials Research and Synthesis Division. SCP-2263-32 Narwhal Ivory. This one was probably a mistake. Probably. Creates a rim-shot sound at the end of every sentence spoken within 7 meters of its skull. When told an actual joke, rim-shot is accompanied by a laugh track, matched to an episode of the television program Hogan's Heroes. SCP-2263-34 Antimatter. About 3 years until anti-annihilation field stops working. Object seems to be made of antimatter, equivalent of human bone, and should be kept in isolated underground storage until at least October 17, 2000. SCP-2263-51 Pinewood. Careful not to knock this one into the sky. Won't get it back. Object is not affected by gravity, but will remain in place, relative to the Earth, wherever it is placed in three-dimensional space. SCP-2263-55 Glass. Turned it inside out. That did it. Object appears to possess a negative volume, such as, when object is submerged in a tank of water, the water level will drop, but the object will not take on water. SCP-2263-60 Rose Quartz Crystal. A little mixed media project. When struck, each bone of SCP-2263-60 will emit a distinct musical tone. Bones in the arms make sounds corresponding with woodwinds. The legs correspond with brass instruments. The ribs correspond to a xylophone. Bones in the spine and skull correspond to drums, and the pelvic bone creates a low, unidentified prolonged sound, the closest match for which is a didgeridoo. SCP-2263-62 Plutonium. Be careful with this one, Jacob. This individual's identity is not currently known, but is believed to be an associate of the creator of SCP-2263, as several letters addressed to a Jacob in Maastricht, the Netherlands, were found at the site of SCP-2263's recovery. Upon investigation, no such person was found to exist. Object emits normal radiation, given off by plutonium, but only at a range of 3 cm off of its surface. Object also emits a high-pitched ringing noise, and occasionally will begin rotating at approximately 30,000 RPM, for exactly 15 seconds. SCP-2263 was discovered in a warehouse in Ohio, which was registered to a Mr. Johann. Upon research, it has been discovered that no such person had ever lived in the town. The Foundation first became aware of SCP-2263 after local authorities investigated a break-in report and discovered SCP-2263's anomalous properties. Objects were recovered by Mobile Task Force Omicron-3, Spooky Scary, over the course of 13 hours. All 62 instances were successfully recovered, and MTF Omicron-3 suffered 2 casualties, 3 instances of severe burns, 1 instance of hypothermia, 1 severed arm, and 1 instance of radiation poisoning. At the warehouse, in which SCP-2263 was recovered, a mattress, approximately 3 months' worth of canned food and bottled water, and various sculptural tools were found, as well as 62 letters, 1 for each instance, written in Dutch and addressed to an individual named only as Jacob, explaining how long each piece would take to complete, and how much it would cost to produce. Each instance was always billed at exactly $543.21. No explanation is ever given as to how an instance of SCP-2263 is created, or how materials are acquired. Only one reply was found at the scene, also in Dutch, addressed to the warehouse. See below for a transcript. Document 2263-63. My dearest Johann, excellent work. I am very much anticipating the completion of the project. If all goes according to plan, I will be in the States to personally pick them up very soon. I will have your money, plus a little extra for your hard work. The likeness is astounding. Sincerely, Jacob.